So as things heat up, I mean, we have to be honest about it. We want everyone to stay safe. Get outside, but stay safe. So your Eye on Health tonight is live with Dr. Jeremy Brown from Baylor Scott White. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So I really want to talk about this, especially because every year I feel like we get new Texans, right?
Absolutely.
Some folks move from places where the climate is reasonable, they know what to do, and then you get to Texas heat and you're like, wait a minute. We're not quite in the triple-digit territory yet, but Lauren did mention that heat index. Can you just explain what happens to our body when we're exposed to that type of heat, and especially over a long period of time?
So what we're worried about is all that heat can increase our body temperature. And when that temperature gets too high, it really makes it hard for us to regulate things ourselves. So we might start sweating, we might have nausea, vomiting, things of that nature. And we really worry about something called heat stroke, which could be really life-altering, can actually cause death.
Yeah, we don't want that, obviously. Early warning signs we should be looking for, even if we're just outside for a small period of time or we're just exposed to heat for a small period of time. What should we be looking for when it comes to the uh-oh moments?
Yes, so when we think in terms of, like, let's say heat exhaustion, right? So we need to look for fatigue, once again, nausea, feeling as if you might vomit. Those are, a couple of things that we need to be a little more aware of, potentially. Our body temperature will rise, confusion, agitation, slurred speech. Those are all other things that we might need to keep an eye out for, that might tell us that something might be coming.
And again, you might think you can handle it, or you might think, I'm used to this, but your body might be telling you something different. In terms of people who are most at risk for heat stroke or heat exhaustion, who's most on that list?
That's a great question. This is extremely important. So the issue is not everyone can regulate their body temperature, and there's some populations that are more at risk. So we need to look at our elderly individuals, and then our younger children, infants, children on that side of the spectrum. And then we also need to worry about people with chronic conditions, people who are obese, and then our outside workers and athletes, because they're outside for extended periods of time, so there's a higher susceptibility to falling victim to the heat.
I see so many posts throughout the week of people who are like in run clubs, and I'm like, how are you guys doing that? As we look at the 7-day forecast, I'm sure everyone was paying attention. The heat is expected to get a little more intense later throughout the week. What can we do today on a Monday to prepare for that?
All right, so I think we still have time to make sure our ACs are working. So make sure your AC unit is working. You can consider using blackout curtains as well to help insulate. And then as an individual, let's say if you are having to go outside, think light clothing. Also, lightweight as well as light colored. That's extremely important. And just try to limit your time outside to, between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's the bulk of the time that we should really avoid that. So if you need to do something, do it before that time or after. Hydration,
should we be adding electrolytes into the mix? Is that a good idea, or is regular water the way to go?
So it depends. If you're actually sweating, it's very important to get the electrolytes back in. But hydrating is extremely important. I would say hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Even if you are not thirsty, make sure you're drinking something. That's so key. And a lot of people only drink when they're thirsty. You need to make sure you're continuously hydrating.
Very good advice. See, if you're doing a run club, you need electrolytes. Dr. Jeremy Brown, thank you so much.